Hi everyone, I'm Robin and these are my reflections. And today we're here to do a decisions video. And this one is black and white RWS style decks published by US Game Systems. I don't have all of them, but I have these three in my collection and I thought that I wanted to compare them. I do these videos to just kind of offer up sort of a resource for people that might be having trouble choosing between decks or might want to see the similarities and differences between decks that I feel are similar in my collection. So I have them lined up here in order of release. This one is the Bianco Nero Tarot by Marco Proieto. This one was the first one that I had, and this is the black and white Rider-Waite deck with artwork by Pamela Coleman Smith. This is an RWS with the color removed. This one is redrawn in a woodblock style. And this is the Black Ritual Tarot by Adam Zonka, which is the newest one in my collection. This one just came to me for review. Let's talk about the similarities and the differences of these decks. The boxes and the packaging are different, right? So we have the Bianco Nero Tarot here as an older deck. It came out a few years ago. I've had it for maybe since 2019 or something like that. And it's still in a tuck box, so you can kind of see what the box looks like. And the writing here says, Tarot blends the classic iconography of Visconti tarot with modern hand-drawn ink illustrations inspired by antique engravings and woodcuts for a truly timeless look. Includes 44-page booklet with a custom goals spread. So that's the box there. The black and white tarot came in a hard box, still has the writing on the side. So it's very similar to this one. It's like the next step in box evolution, right? Like but it did have the thumbhole cutouts here. And this one says, the black and white Rider-Waite Tarot features the line artwork and hand-drawn titles created in 1909 by Pamela Coleman Smith. The 78 card deck has special black foil gilded edges and is accompanied by a 54-page guidebook with upright and reversed meanings and tarot spreads. Okay, so that's what that has. And then the Black Ritual Tarot in their newest style box, where you have the sort of V cutout where you can still open and grip, but you don't have the full thumb hole. It's just more finished. It's just a little bit more finished. And the writing is on the back here. It says, using only black ink, the Black Ritual Tarot invites us to explore the depths of the psyche. Adam Zonka's highly detailed illustrations offer a monochromatic perspective on the enduring Rider-Waite archetypes and symbols. This black and white deck was created to offer focused readings that cast light on the dark and light aspects within our journey and ourselves. Includes 78 cards and a 56-page booklet with card meanings and keywords. Okay, so so this one is 54 pages, 56 pages, and 44 pages. So that's that. So Bianco Nero Tarot comes with a title card, and it comes with an About the Artist card. Tells you a little bit about the artist. You can read that for yourself if you would like. And then it comes with a little white book, and this book is pretty good. It tells you sort of the vision for the deck at the beginning and the artist's inspiration as far as their artwork goes. So the style of line drawing was inspired by Gustave Doré, Albrecht Dürer, woodcuts, as well as Sergio Topi's modern illustrations. And then it says that it's, fantastical. It gives a lot of background information on the inspiration behind the deck. It talks about the upright and reverse keywords and then what's happening in the card. So for the full, it says, with his eyes to the sky, he trusts in spirit. The little black and white dog prances along to serve both as companion and guardian. The next step will carry him off the cliff. In his bag, he carries just what he needs. He believes in the promise of possibility. The white rose traditionally stands for the fool's pure heart. And once he goes over the cliff, his innocence will be gone. The card reminds us that all journeys begin with hope. Fearing the unknown limits forward movement. And it's the same when you come into the minors. You get the same sort of information. And then in the back, I believe there's a little spread. Yeah, it's a little spread and an example about the spread, and then more about the artist here, which is similar to what you find on this card here. So that's the Bianco Nero Tarot. And then the black and white tarot comes with a similar guidebook. It's just that it has a hard cover instead of a soft cover, instead of a paper cover. So normally you would just have this part, but this one came with like an additional cover. And the introduction is very short. It just says that this is Pamela Coleman Smith's artwork, and it's, the first published 1909 version. Talks about the major and minor arcana, and then it just gives you a good set of actually keywords and phrases for each card as you go through for major and minors. And they're good phrases. So, like for the Fool, for instance, hang on, let me just flip this so you can see the Fool. You get new beginning, fresh start, the first time you do something, open and eager for new things, spontaneous and carefree, boundless potential. And for reversed, it says feeling like a fool due to your inexperience or gullible, immature, and impulsive, thrill seeking, irresponsible, and then also watch your step. So it's got a lot of good key phrases in here that you can use to guide you or to use as storytelling. It's used as your words if you're giving a reading. So it's a good way to kind of learn how to word your tarot readings. And that's the guidebook for that one. I'm just going to put it right here so we know. And I'll put the Bianco Nero there. Okay, so now the Black Ritual one, it's the same cover, hardcover. Well, it's a soft hardcover. And then in the same way as the Bianco Nero, it talks a little bit about the inspiration of the artist in the front. So it says that the art style is meant to mimic etchings using only black ink. Thus, the creation of the deck and the use of it are referred to as the Black Ritual. The approach for the creation of this deck consisted of closely scrutinizing the art form of the original Rider-Waite deck and adding personal updates and changes to represent Adam Zonka's unique interpretation. You may notice this as changes to the proportions and anatomy of the figures and the composition of the illustrations, while the content and presentation of each card remains largely unchanged. And so we'll see the changes pretty closely because I'm going to be showing them next to this one, which is Pixie's line work just without the color. So you can see very closely what the changes will be. And it says it offers a black and white perspective on enduring archetypes and symbols that offer insight and interpretations to the reading. You get a couple of spreads, and then it goes into the guidebook where it does talk a little bit more about what you see in the card. So it says, for the Fool, we see the optimistic youth and his dog stride dangerously close to the edge of a cliff, showing his exuberance and trust in the world. He is on a journey of new beginnings. On his shoulder is a bundle containing all of his worldly possessions. In his hand is a flower representing beauty and growth. This card represents an innocent beginning to a perilous journey we call life. The Fool calls us to notice where we can take a chance, risk, begin anew, and reclaim innocence. And then it gives some keywords: pilgrimage, spontaneity, faith, carefree attitude. So now when we get to the minor arcana, it doesn't give information about what you see in the card. It just gives you the energy of the card, and also the same sort of three keywords. So for instance, for the Six of Cups, it says, a beautiful gift from one child to another recalls a simpler time and place. Remembering the past with nostalgia, inner child healing by visiting your past, going back to basics, connecting with old friends, simple pleasures. And then the keywords here are childhood, innocence, joy, nostalgia. Okay, so it doesn't get as deep into the symbolism of what's happening or what's presented in the card for the minors. And then in the back, I don't think there's anything more in the back. No, it just ends. And the card and this book, unlike these where they go from ace to 10, this one actually starts at the kings and works its way up to the aces for all of those, just so that you're aware. But yeah, they're still in order. They're just sort of what I would consider backwards, but maybe other people consider the right way, you know? So that is the Black Ritual Tarot's guidebook. Let's take a look at the cards. Okay, let's talk cardstock. So this one is a standard tarot size. This is their old standard size, so it's a little bit more narrow than, it's the same height, but a little bit slightly more narrow than the standard size. And this is bigger altogether than the standard, so it's an oversized card. The card stock on the black and white Rider-Waite deck is a plasticky linen. It's their new linen stock. So it has a linen finish, but it also has a sort of plastic coating over it that makes it feel very, you can hear that sound, feel very, very bouncy and tough, right? The edging on the black and white rider weight is this metallic black edge. And the other two are unedged. So now my copy of this one is their OG stock. It's their OG buttery matte, buttery kind of semi-gloss stock. So this one is a little bit more buttery than this newer one, and it's a little bit more bendy. This one is thicker, I think, than this. It just doesn't bend the same. This one is definitely more bendy and glossier than the new one. So as far as the imagery goes, the Bianco Nero tarot is going to be the most different. The RWS is the one here in the center. This is the Pixie's stock standard RWS. This is her original line work, her original lettering, everything, just with the color removed. The other two are reinterpretations. This one is based RWS and Visconti, which some people would say the Visconti is, oh, here we go, there's the Empress. The Visconti is what the RWS was based on, right? So, but you know, it's more zoomed in. It's a little bit, it's taken its own way as far as the imagery goes, but it's very similar. As you can still see, we still have a lot of the same elements. You still have the shield, you still have the scepter, you still have the throne, you still have the crown, the jewels in the crown. There's a lot of things that are still happening here, and then some things that are very different. Where this one, you've got the rams and things that stay the same. This guy actually kind of looks like a hierophant to me. Here we have the eagle, right? So there are some things that definitely change. Even with the differences, I do think that they look very similar together. They're not the same, but similar, right? And it makes sense that these two are similar because they're based on, the Black Ritual Tarot is based on the RWS, so that makes sense. But I also feel like, I don't know, every time I see something Visconti, it always makes me think RWS because I think that the RWS is based, I think the historians think it's based on the Visconti anyway. So anyways, the Hermit, you can see really well that it's a little different, right? We're zoomed way in. We still have a staff, we still have a robe. This guy is actually looking at us, and we don't see any hill or mountain top or anything like that. Here are wheels, where the Sphinx here becomes a woman in this one, and the animals that you would normally see, or the symbols like this Anubis and the snake, they're people in this one, which I always thought was so interesting. There's our Lady Justice. She's standing. These two are seated. None of them are blindfolded. Hanged Man. Very similar. These look very, very similar, right? The Death card. One of the things that I really like about the Black Ritual Tarot are the black backgrounds. So they said that they're using black ink, but it shocked me that the black is so, I almost wanted to say this was white ink on a black paper, but they said no, they used black ink. So they just used empty space to create the rest. And I thought that was interesting. The Tower. Or negative space, I guess it's called. I'm no artist. The stars look different. I don't know. The Bianco Nero kind of comes alive a little bit more when you see the people. The people come alive just a little bit more in the Bianco Nero. Here's the sun. This one is where the Visconti influence really comes in, right? Here's Judgment. and the world. Okay, moving on to the wands. These two look almost exactly alike. This one is just a little bit different. We still have all of the symbols there, though. We still have the cloud, the hands, the sprouting wand, the city, there in the background. Everything is still the same. It just is not, I don't know, something about the way it's set up in the card looks different. And it could be the border as well. This one has a border and this one is borderless. This one has a border as well. So I don't know. I don't know what made me feel it was different. Okay, here is the Three of Wands. Very much the same. There's the Four of Wands where we're zoomed way in. There's the Five. Very similar. And the Six. There's the Seven. The perspective is very different on some of these. See here, this is another one where I would think that this white was drawn onto a black background. I don't know. What do you guys think? You'll have to let me know what you think in comments below. Okay, here is the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Page of Wands. Very similar, all of them. They even have a little feather in the cap. Like, I mean, the Bianco Nero's a little sexier because he doesn't have on a shirt and he's got abs and stuff, but this is the same. Here's the Queen. I love this Queen of Wands. She is given. I love her so much. And here is the King of Wands. All right, on to the cups. Here's our Ace of Cups. All the symbols are there. This symbol on the chalice isn't there, but the coin, the dove, the streams of water, it's all there. And the little lilies down here. There's a 2. The 3. 4 of Cups. The 5 of Cups. 6. And the 7 of Cups is very similar, even down to the things in the cups. And this one, the dragon is actually holding the cup, which I thought was kind of cute. We have the 8 of Cups here. And the 9 of Cups. And the 10. I love the way they did the rainbow with the cups there in this one. All right. Here is the Page of Cups. I love how this Page of Cups looks so soft. I've always thought that this Page of Cups looks like he was wearing a lot of clothing, right? Like, why does he have on so much more clothing than everybody else? And I like that way that's mimicked here. He just looks so soft. Like whatever he's wearing looks like it's soft to touch, I like that about him. Here's the Knight of Cups. Oh, wait, hang on. Sorry. There's the Knight of Cups. Here is the Queen of Cups. Love that they brought the mermaids full circle, full on mermaid here. And here's our King with the octopus. I love the octopus. This one, I like the way this King of Cups looks because he actually, you can tell he's sitting in the water, but something about this black background really brings out the water in this one. So it brings that forefront for me. I thought it was interesting what they did with the hilt here and the flames, and the fact that we don't have the 2 different types of foliage coming from the sword, just this one kind. It doesn't explain in the guidebook why they changed that. I mean, they stay pretty close to a lot of the symbolism, so it made me curious, but it's close enough, I think. Here's our Three of Swords. This is these polka dots. I don't love these polka dots here. They're supposed to be raindrops, but they look like polka dots, and it just really it feels so different from the rest of the deck, this card. So when it comes up in a reading, it just really stands out. But other than that, the cards come together really nicely. Another thing that I really love about the borders on this deck is that they're all distressed differently. So it makes it feel like they've been naturally distressed as opposed to like a digital. Wait, I forgot to pull this one out. As opposed to like digitally done. It's obviously digitally done, right? But because they've all been distressed, you can see how this one is different from this one, where the little spots are. It just feels naturally old, and I like that about the borders on this one. Here is the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords. I like that they kept the blanket with the zodiac symbols there, and the bed. They kept the hard bed with the thin mattress. I like that. They didn't put the image here, but that's okay. I think here is the Ten of Swords. Page of Swords. This Page of Swords always cracks me up because, you think about the belt. The Page of Swords is belted, right? But this belt, I was like, he doesn't have on any shirt, but he had that belt, They did not leave out the belt. And I think all the pages, he put the belts, and I was just like, stop it. All right. Here's the Queen. I love this Queen of Swords too. Like, yes to this whole situation. Those legs, she's got the gams. All right, so here we got the King of Swords. He's given legs too. And last suit, Pentacles, Ace. Very similar with the arch and the garden. This pentacle, of course, is much more ornate than the ones we see in these other two. I do love the distressing of the look of this one. It just gives a little bit of texture that I enjoy in that Ace of Pentacles. The texture is removed from this one because all the colors are removed, right? So all you have is the line work. Here's the two. And the three. The Four of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles. Beautiful. I love this card. I don't know why. I don't like to see it come up in a reading, but whenever I see it illustrated, I always like it. I just like the way it's been illustrated. They're slippery. Okay, these cards are slippery. Okay. Six of Pentacles. The Seven. I like the gray they decided to use for the leaves here to give that sort of deeper color as opposed to like a light green. We have like a deeper green. Oh, that's good. Or I can imagine a deeper green there. Here is our Eight of Pentacles. You can see they're very similar here in this one. It's a little bit different, but we have it's the same thing happening in the picture, right? And here's our Nine of Pentacles. The 10. I love seeing a cleaned up version of this card. It's always so difficult to see in the original artwork. There's so many lines and so many things going on, and it's old, like it's old and the printing is old and it's just hard to see. So I like to see it, what people do when they clean it up and what they bring forth from the original deck. So, they kept this checkerboard frame here. They brought forth the leaf pattern, the grape leaf pattern in the the old man's cloak. I always like to see what people bring forth and what people leave out when they read you the Ten of Pentacles, and also the King of Pentacles as well. Here's the Page of Pentacles with the belts. um, the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen, and I always thought that this was so interesting is that they've got her sitting the other way, but her head is still facing the same way as all the other queens. And when I saw that, I was like, that is so intriguing how she's twisted up like that, you know? And here's our king. We can see what he pulled forth. Um, cleaned up all of the imagery here so that we can really see what's going on. And what did he say? What is this? I always want to see what they think this is, what they interpret as what his foot is on. I can't really tell. Can you guys tell what that is? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you can tell. And that's the last one. And here are the backs up close if you want to see them. So we'll shuffle them one at a time and read from the books. We read The Fool already. But like I said, this is OG US game stock. I'm not sure if this deck is still coming in this card stock or not. I know it's still available. But what card stock it's being released in, if it's like their newer stock, I'm not sure. But it shuffles like a dream. This is their best. I love this OG like plain US Games card stock. It makes me very happy. So here's the world. So let's read for the world. So here it is for yourself if you'd like to read it. It says success, achievements, growth, inertia, stagnation, and frustration for reversed. The world, the last card in the major arcana, symbolizes the end of a long journey. A woman dances joyfully in the center because she is at both the end and the beginning of the journey. The two wands in her hands, similar to the one in the magician's hands, symbolize balance and harmony. The position of her legs suggests an upright version of the hangman's stance. The four figures that surround her also adorn the wheel of fortune. In this card, we see how everything cycles from our life experiences to time itself. Lion is Leo. Leo is the lion. Taurus is the bull. Aquarius is the angel. And Scorpio for the eagle stand for the four fixed zodiac signs, as well as the elements, the suits, the compass points, and the seasons. And that's it for the write-up for the booklet. Okay, so this one is the linen stock. Very, very nice. Got the black shiny edges that I just love. Shuffles wonderfully. Has a nice bounce back. This is a wonderful cardstock too. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm used to the older stock and I do still love it, but this is definitely a vibe as well. This new linen for sure. And when they do the linen with the matte stock, oh my goodness. Maybe that's my favorite US Games cardstock. The linen with the matte. All right. High Priestess. Okay. And this one just has some keywords, so it won't take long. Let's read that. So it says intuition, instinct, clairvoyance, silent wisdom, accepting duality, take the time to contemplate the situation at hand, profound truth that's not generally seen or acknowledged. And then the reversed meaning, out of touch with intuitive sense, secretive, holding back, too passive, quiet, weak, passivity. And so that is guidebook for that one. And just scooch this one over here a little bit. And then over here, let's take a look at this. Now, these cards, like I said, are a little bit oversized. I do believe they are, for the size of this, they are, I think I said earlier, they're a little bigger than a normal tarot card. And just to compare them to an oracle, yeah, they are about that height. They are just a little bit taller than this oracle card. So you can see, it's just like a sliver taller. So they're about the height of an oracle card. So I can't get my hands around them this way because my fingers are short. My hands are small, but I can shuffle them like this and I can bend them and control them in that way. So it's not like a waterfall drop. I can actually bend and control them. So I would think, I would say that if you are a riffle shuffler and your hands are big enough to get around oracle deck, you'll be able to riffle shuffle these with no issues. Okay, here is the write up. It says, a heart pierced 3 times over beneath a weeping sky, feeling heartbroken and disappointed, getting into the heart of the matter, fear of betrayal or grief held in the heart, crumbling of a relationship or loss of someone. And then the keywords here are pain, sorrow, heartbreak, and loss. That's the guidebook for that one. Let's look at them laid out. So let's start with the Bianco Nero Tarot. And here's her counterpart, the world card there on the front of the book. I've had this deck for some years and I love it. Every time I use it, I like the way the characters are depicted. I think that it is beautiful and the cardstock is wonderful. And like I said, I don't know if it's the same anymore, but it's it's one of my favorite black and white decks in my collection. So this is what that one looks like, all laid out. It's sexy. It's energetic. I like the way that the people come alive in this, and I kind of like the close up versions of these. Like we're zoomed in a little bit on them, and I kind of like that. Feels more intimate to me. So that's the Bianco Nero, and these are the backs and cases. So for me, this deck is great for quick readings because it is an RWS and it doesn't even have any color. Like if you don't, the RWS color symbolism is important to the card, right? If you want that, then of course you wouldn't choose this deck, right? But for someone who is not necessarily fussed by that, this deck, if you're interested, is it reads clean, it's crisp, it's clean looking, and I can match it with a lot of things because it doesn't have a lot going on. So I do enjoy that about the look of this one. I can use this to do multiple readings at a time because it shuffles so easily and nicely. So if I'm doing a morning of doing readings for like 4 or 5 people all at once, one behind the other, I know I can pull this out and use it again and again and again. It's not gonna, my hands aren't gonna get sore. You know what I mean? Like, it shuffles really easily, and it's gonna go with any oracle deck that I pull out for it because it's just black and white, you know. And so that's what I like about this one. Plus, I really like the backs of this, so I can sit and play with these backs all day. So those are my thoughts on the Rider Waite, the black and white Rider Waite. So this deck is new to me. I just got it a few months ago, maybe a month ago, really. I don't know. It hasn't been that long. And I've only used it a couple of times. But the thing that stands out to me the most are black backgrounds. So it looks like everything is kind of happening at night. And so it feels like it works really well for like a moon reading or something that, I don't know, it feels like it's a nighttime reading. It also gives like a very masculine vibe to me. So I would use this if I wanted a deck that gave like masculine, like that for something masculine. Like if I was doing like a masculine feminine reading or a yin yang reading, I would use this in a yang position, something like that. If I was reading for a couple and one of them was a male and one was a female, I might use this in the male position. It feels a little bit more masculine, and I don't know if that's because of the distressed look. I don't know if that's the artwork. I don't know. It just, for me, it feels a little bit more masculine, and that feels good to me because I don't have a lot of decks that feel that way. So I'm always looking for decks that have a little bit more masculinity to them. Another thing that I really like about this is that it's like a cleaned up version of the RWS. And like I pointed out when we were doing the walkthrough, there's some things that they've pulled forward, cleaned up, that I can see a little bit better in the imagery, as well as I really enjoy that the cards are just a little bit bigger because I have eye problems, and these days I just want bigger cards sometimes. You know, I like the smaller cards because they're easier to shuffle, but these cards are actually really easy to shuffle. The cardstock is thin enough that I can do that sideways riffle with no problem. And yeah, this is great. So I like this one, and I'll definitely be keeping it around because it's going to fit solidly into my more masculine tarot deck. My more masculine collection. I just don't have a lot. I don't have enough. You know, I'm always looking for something that's given that, you know. I really love the way the borders look when this is laid out. And you can't see it so much in the video, but what I'm looking at, I see distressed paper and distressed, you know, like ink stains and things like that that maybe you don't see, but it does add to the charm of the way it looks on the table. So I like that as well. So I'm excited to have this one. I am always about an RWS clone. I do love RWS clone. So so this works for me. So that's it. That is the Bianco Nero Tarot. the Black and White Rider-Waite Tarot, and the Black Ritual Tarot side by side. Let me know what you guys think about these decks. Do you have any of them? One, two, all? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you were thinking about making a decision between them, have you decided? Which one do you like the best? Which one do you think you would go with? Let me know all the things in the comments below. If you're looking to pick any of these up, I'm going to put links in the description box below where you can pick them all up. Like I said, they're all published by US Game Systems, so you can get them directly from the US Game Systems website, as well as I will put the Amazon affiliate links below as well. If you decide to buy from Amazon, I appreciate it when you guys use those links. It helps me out a little bit and it doesn't cost you anything. All you need to do is click the link, put the thing in your cart after you have clicked the link, and check out within the hour, and they credit me. I put it all back into the channel after, it just gives me a couple cents. It's not like a lot. It doesn't cost you anything. And once I get enough cents to, add up, I use it to buy something to bring here to show you guys. So that's what I use it for. It helps me out a little bit. I do appreciate when you guys use them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe. I release videos every few days regarding tarot and oracle, and I would love to have you. Links will be in the description box below, like I said. And until I see you next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.